You're listening to a CNA podcast.
When it comes to children's clothes, one thing is for certain. They will almost always outgrow them. And yet, there's huge wastage in the clothing industry. In Singapore alone, some 189,000 tons of textile and leather waste was generated in 2021. Only 4% of this was recycled. While there's no exact data on how much of this is due to the children's market, it's likely to be significant given the speed at which kids outgrow their clothes. Now, one local company has decided to do something about this. Weekend Kids promotes a shared wardrobe for children. In the studio with me is Angeline Tan, who is the founder of Weekend Kids. Angeline, thank you so much for joining us in the Climate Conversations.
Thanks for having me, Julie.
I'm quite surprised that you are not a mother. I'm sure you get this a lot, given that you're a founder of a brand that promotes a shared wardrobe for children.
So yes, this is actually something that surprises a lot of other people as well. But when I thought of this idea, I had the same thoughts, Would people trust me if I wasn't a mother to share wardrobe for children? But I felt like I don't want to wait until I'm a mother to think of such an idea and then start it. I want to do something that in the future, when I have kids, my children will be like, oh, wow, mom is actually doing something that truly makes an impact on the world, hopefully.
I wonder what influenced your perspective on sustainability and the mission of Weekend Kids.
Growing up, I've always been quite inclined towards environmental sustainability. I'm not too sure where this came from, but it was just something that has always been an interest to me. Weekend Kids came about because a few years back, we were shifting houses. And then, when you shift houses, you find a lot of things.
I know what you mean.
So I actually found boxes and boxes of my old clothes.
Oh, your clothes.
Yeah. And some of these were brand new, like they've never been worn before. And we just never threw it away because some of them were like expensive or just really in good condition, such that my mother felt like such a waste. She didn't know what to do with it. And I felt that this is a problem when you have so many children's clothes that you don't know what to do with them. And I was thinking, is there anywhere in Singapore that is doing something about this? And I couldn't really find anything. So that's why I was thinking, this is a problem that I would like to try and solve.
How much of an issue is textile waste generated by children's clothing, especially in Singapore?
There isn't really much data on textile waste with regards to children's clothing.
Okay.
But as a whole, last year, it was about 190,000 tons of textile waste. Just textile waste itself generated in Singapore. I would think that children's clothes would constitute a large part of it because how long can you wear those clothes, right? Basically just a few months, maximum a year, before you have to get rid of it already.
So tell me about the concept behind your company. How does this address the problem of textile waste in children's clothing?
So for Weekend Kids, we focus primarily on outfits that you will only wear for one-time use.
Okay.
So this is where the difference lies because for an outfit for one-time use, let's say a flower girl dress or a page boy suit, you will only wear this once and then you don't know what to do with it anymore. So this is a direct contribution to textile wastage because you wear it once, your child cannot use it anymore, and then you end up throwing it away or have to give it to someone. Yeah.
So what are the kinds of clothes that are most in demand, would you say?
Actually, page boys, suits, and flower girl dresses. But we've had a growing demand for winter wear because really by the time it's your next overseas trip, your child probably cannot fit into winter wear that they were wearing the last trip.
Why not do all kinds of clothes? Why just focus on one-time wear?
We were thinking about it, but let's say if I'm a parent and it just makes a bit more sense at this point in time of our business to cater to one-time events as opposed to, let's say, everyday wear. If everyday wear, it will be a bit more of a hassle and a bit more of a deterrence to parents if they were to try to have a clothes sharing mindset. Yeah.
And so you're renting them at a fraction of the price? How much are we talking about here?
It depends because for most outfits, it will be about 3 to 5 times less because we get from quality brands. So apart from that, apart from wanting to make sure that the clothes are not for one-time use, we also make sure that it is of a quality brand such that parents won't think that, oh, it's just a cheap outfit, I might as well go and buy it. We try to invest in quality brands.
So you go out and buy these clothes.
For clothes that is not easily available, then yes, those we will purchase. But for the majority of our outfits nowadays, actually, we do take in from parents.
So in exchange, do they get a discount or?
As of now, we are doing a split. So the revenue is like a 50-50 split.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
How much are kids' clothes these days? I have no idea.
It ranges from about 150 to 300 for the brands that we bring in.
And it's not just about sharing clothes, but I guess it could also help instill values in their children.
Yes, whenever parents come to us for clothes, they will always tell the children, you have to be very careful with it. No spills, no stains. And these clothes actually come back to us in
good condition?
Extremely good. It's like it was never worn. Sometimes I look at it like, was this even worn? So I think that the children actually do learn how to be more careful about what they wear, especially when they have these kind of clothes on.
That's very interesting. Angeline, but let's face it, the idea of renting clothes isn't a new one, right? We've seen many options for adults who want outfits for one-off occasions like weddings or graduations. There are costume rental places for Halloween. Why do you think your model would work?
There are options for adults, for weddings, for other special occasions, but they don't have this for children. So I thought that it just makes more sense to get it for children because if I buy an outfit, a really nice dress, maybe 3 years down the road, if I have another event, I could still wear the same thing. But my child would definitely not be able to wear the same thing again.
Them.
Yes, correct. So I think a lot of parents who come to us, they also feel that this is something that it just inherently makes sense to them.
Are you looking for ways to make your money work harder? Tips on saving, investing, or retiring early, perhaps? Or advice on big-ticket decisions like buying a house or owning a car? I'm Andrea Heng, host of CNA's top personal finance podcast, Money Talks. And these are some of the things we find out for you. Each week, I get a guest to share personal stories and answer burning questions that help you make sense of the latest financial trends. Go check out the complete Money Talks playlist on the CNA app, Spotify, Google, or Apple Podcasts.
So Angeline, let's talk about challenges. A shared wardrobe can certainly be a positive step towards sustainability, but in the post-pandemic era, do you find it harder to promote the concept due to heightened concerns about hygiene?
Actually, no. Mostly what we've come across is that people are more apprehensive about something they don't know about. So that's why we are trying to raise awareness that such an option exists. Sometimes parents, even children, they don't have a sharing mentality. So sometimes when the parents bring the kids over and the parent says, oh no, we're just going to borrow this for a short period of time. And the child is like, no, I want to buy it. So there is this problem where they don't understand the concept of sharing. So this would be a few problems that we face, as well as it is fast fashion. Fast fashion now, like a lot of clothes are really cheap. And so parents sometimes, they'll tell me, oh, there is this outfit that I saw on this website or something like that, and it only costs this amount of money. Why should I get my outfit from you? But we've tried to take an environmental approach to this, and somehow it's been working. So we say it's not about whether or not the outfit is cheap. It's about what happens after. When there is demand for all these cheap clothings, definitely, manufacturers will go all out on it. So it is about what happens when you buy the outfit for that one occasion. What are you going to do with it? You're going to throw it away. You're going to just store it in your wardrobe. And that is where the problem starts that we are trying to address.
And it's not just about economics, it's also about emotions, right? Where parents often feel attached to memories linked to children's clothes. How do you get parents to go beyond this feeling of ownership or emotional attachment and think in terms of waste?
So for this, it happens most commonly in clothes that people already have. So let's say I have already bought an outfit for my daughter and, I don't want to get rid of it. It still holds sentimental value. So that's where we came up with a scheme. It's called our Loved Consignment Initiative. So therefore, you pass us your child's old clothes that they can no longer wear. And then we will put it into our inventory. And anytime someone wants to, reserve it for a particular date, then we will do sharing with you. So this way, the consignment thing is because of this feeling of nostalgia, therefore you can take back the outfit anytime you want.
So in the long run, Angeline, how are you going to ensure that this business model is sustainable for you? I mean, given that there is a slowing birth rate in Singapore and indeed in many other parts of the world.
Despite the slowing birth rate, you are having families with more and more events. So you have overseas trips, you have school celebrations, you have nowadays some parents take photo shoots every year. Then you have concerts, even with slowing birth rates, you have more events. And therefore, it means that you will need more such outfits on a yearly basis, about 5 to 10 times a year. Yeah.
So are you thinking of expanding more of the selections that you have? What are your plans for Weekend Kids?
Firstly, because now we are mostly based online, we do have a home studio in Simei where you can come to try the clothes on. But definitely, I am looking towards having a storefront somewhere more central. When there is the convenience of being accessible, parents are more likely to come. So apart from that, because of the growing number of events, parents have also been asking us whether we can offer a subscription plan. It will encourage them not to buy so many outfits and instead look for us whenever they need the items. We've also been thinking of augmented reality, something that we would like to explore.
Sure.
Because some parents, they are thinking like, will this color suit my child? So if, let's say, you can have the convenience of seeing your child in a certain color, suit or dress, it will make things easier for you. So it's all about bringing convenience to the family.
Really thinking outside the box. I love it. I'm sure every parent must have a box full of clothes that their kids have outgrown. It can be tricky to know what to do with them. Would you have any tips to deal with them or eco-friendly ways to dispose of outgrown children's clothes?
There are Singaporeans who do this already. So they use these old clothes as rugs, mats, as cleaning equipment. Yeah. So this is a really good initiative that I feel the older generation does this a lot, but the younger ones, they may not do this so much. So it might be a good idea for parents to rethink that and perhaps to use what you already have in your house instead of going out and buying like new rugs for your home. It all starts with the demand. So if you are buying less, therefore the items that you have in your house will essentially last longer. It's just use what you have in the moment. And if you were really to need to throw it away for some reason or another, perhaps could consider textile recycling instead of just simply throwing it into the bin.
Yeah, textile recycling. I actually know a friend who donates her super soft children's shirts to animal shelters. So I guess there are plenty of other ways to do so. And lastly, what advice would you give parents who are passionate about reducing textile waste and wish to make a difference?
I think that if you personally are trying to make a difference in terms of textile waste, you could try to invest in sustainable or quality brands because these items are definitely going to last you for much longer. Apart from that, you could look out for slow fashion brands. There aren't that many in Singapore, but definitely trying to support these slow fashion brands would be a very good way forward into ensuring that you reduce your environmental impact.
Yeah, every little effort counts. Thank you very much, Angeline, for coming in today, sharing your thoughts, and for inspiring us with your commitment to sustainability in children's fashion. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks to my guest, and thanks to everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoy this episode. Now, do remember to like and subscribe to this podcast so you know when the new episode drops. Leave us a message on Spotify or Apple Podcasts to let us know what you think. The team behind this podcast is Cyan Win, Jacqueline Chan, Joanne Chan, Tiffany Ang, Crispina Robert, and I'm Julie Yu signing off.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.